I loved you in silence, and even so I left. Narrated by Claire. First person, story based on realistic events. We were only Claire and Noah. If I close my eyes, I can still hear his laughter. That mixture in the joke and tenderness that only he had. Noah. My best friend, my biggest secret, the love I never confessed, and the one that marked me the most. We met in high school, and since then we were inseparable. He would walk me home, bring me coffee during exams, and defend me from my insecurities. It was him. It was always him, but we never said anything. We never gave ourselves permission to cross that line, visible between friendship and love. And when, at 26, I got engaged to David, he simply left. He disappeared from my life without saying goodbye. Only a note in my mailbox. Be happy, Claire, as you deserve. N. I cried that night like I had never cried before. Unplanned reunions. 4 years passed. I got married. I got divorced. David and I weren't compatible. He was the opposite of Noah. Orderly, ambitious, but cold. One Tuesday, I went to a new coffee shop in the city. I wanted a cappuccino and some air after a horrible meeting, and there he was, sitting, with his sketchbook, drawing as if nothing had changed. Noah. My hands trembled. My heart beat as if I were 17 again. He saw me. He stood still for a second, and then he smiled. That smile, intacta. Hello, Claire, he said, as if years hadn't passed. Conversations that hurt. We sat down. We talked for hours. He told me that he lived in another city, that he was dedicated to graphic design, that had been fleeing. What were you fleeing from? I asked bluntly. From you, he confessed. Silence. I couldn't see you marry someone who didn't deserve you. Because it was always me, Claire. I always loved you, P. I did it silently. Because I thought you were happy, and it hurt to be only the friend. My eyes filled with tears. You weren't only that. You were never only that. And in that instant we understood what and we had lost because of fear. Sometimes, silence is also a form of betrayal. The moment we didn't have. For weeks we saw each other again. Everything felt like a second attempt at what it should have been. We laughed, we walked in the rain, we talked about what could have been. One night on the beach he took my hand and said, "Don't let me go this time." And I didn't. Finally, after so many years, we kissed, and that kiss was everything. We promised to start again, this time without fears, this time being brave. The call, everything changed in a single call. It was his number. P. It wasn't him. "Are you Claire?" a female voice asked. "Yes." "Who's speaking?" "I'm Noah's sister. I'm at the hospital. You can come, please." Noah had collapsed that morning. An aneurysm. Inesperado. Repentino. I arrived at the emergency room with my heart in my throat. I saw him in that bed, pale, frail, and yet beautiful. He opened his eyes when he felt my hand. "Thank you for loving me, even if late." "Don't talk, Noah. You'll be all right." "Claire, I already knew that my time was short. That's why I came back, to say goodbye properly, to tell you that I was happy with you." And so, he left. And even so I left. 2 years have passed since he left. Sometimes, life doesn't give you a happy ending, but it does give you a perfect moment, an eternal kiss, a truth that liberates. I loved him silently all my life, and how, because finally I shouted it, the universe took it away from me, but I don't regret it, because finally he knew that I loved him, because finally he loved me back. End.